Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spill the Tea Radio, where we interview awesome singers, songwriters, and those who influence their lives. Spill the Tea Radio explores the journey, creativity, and inspiration behind the songs. My next guest is a Juno nominated artist. She released her first album with EMI Canada in 1997. Since then, she has written and recorded 4 solo albums and 3 as a founding member of the acclaimed folk trio Trent Severn. She has received many awards, including a Video of the Year FCLMA award for the song You, You, You. So, let's spill the tea with Dayna Manning. Welcome, Dayna. Dayna, we've got a few things to cover off here. Number one, I'm always intrigued about how and why people name bands and songs and things like that. You named a band called Trent Severn. Now, I'm going to go out on a wild stretch here and say that band was from Trenton, Ontario. I mean, Trent Severn is a massive waterway that travels from Lake Ontario or north down towards Lake Ontario. So, why the name Trent Severn?
We're actually from the Stratford, Ontario area. Um, we just really liked that it sounded like a guy's name. And also, the music that we were singing was all based on really Ontario legend, folklore, and communities. So we loved how the Trent Severn represented that connection throughout Ontario. Yeah, we had a ring to it. Uh, Def Leppard, Led Zeppelin, Trent Severn kind of had a ring.
Well, it's a great name, and certainly as far as Canadiana goes, or at least Ontario known Canadiana, everyone knows the Trent Severn waterway. So, a great name for the band. You come from Stratford, not too far away from the big smoke of Toronto, but you do a fair bit of work in Stratford as well.
Mhm.
What's the differences and similarities between working in Stratford and working in larger city areas?
I think the big shift I've seen is that the the internet and social media, the markets become smaller. You are either marketing to a subgenre of music that you're making, or you can really engage in your community. And that's kind of what I've done. I consider myself a 100-mile artist as opposed to that kind of 100-mile dinner. But I spend all of my time investing in my community, and they invest in me. Yeah.
You have I'll say, an unfair advantage over most artists. When I ask them where their musical influences come from, they say, "Oh, I had a grandfather that played guitar. I had an uncle that used to sing." You've got 2 parents that are that are immersed in the music industry, music profession.
Yes.
So tell us how mom and dad influenced your music. It almost seems like it was a fait accompli.
Yeah, it honestly was um, half already in my DNA and half everything that I saw growing up. My father was the high school music teacher, played trumpet. He still to this day plays more gigs than I do. And my mother is an excellent clarinet player, and they've played in the Stratford Concert Band here in Stratford, Ontario, um, for let's see, 49 years. Next year will be their 50th anniversary in that
Wow.
bit. Yeah.
How does that affect you as a musician when you have mom and dad that are true music professionals? They don't just do it on the side. This is something that they do on a regular basis. How does that affect you growing up? Does it give you a leg up? Does it put pressure on you as an individual? Say, wow, I guess, like my mom and dad were doctors. I need to be a doctor. My mom and dad were lawyers. I need to be a lawyer. My mom and dad are professional musicians. I guess I'm going to be one.
My mom, I wouldn't yeah, I would say uh um this is how I think of it. You always want to be a little bit different than your parents. So
Mhm.
you grow up. My father made sure that I had a great ear, and he taught me, made sure that I took the Suzuki piano lessons. And so I found myself as a teenager being able to walk downtown or walk to school and write a song in my head and kind of know what chords went underneath it already because I had that training. So giving me that creative uh, leg up is incredible. My father can see a piece of music and you can tell him what key you want it played in, and he can do it instantly. So he has that skill, and I have the creative skill. And I do think that there are different buckets in music. I think you're a performer, you're a creator, or maybe you're a facilitator for connecting people through music. So that I see things done in kind of those three ways. And so I was really concentrating on that creative bucket. Mhm.
You signed a deal with EMI back in 1997 for a record. Take us back to 1997. Many artists, when I ask them, is the dream to sign with a record label and have that backing? And many indie artists say today, I don't know if I want to give up control. I like being in control of what's going on. Take us back to 1997. Tell us why you decided to sign and what were the benefits and the drawbacks of signing.
Oh, it's such a different time, so it's hard to compare to now. Um, at the time, I would say that there was a about 50 bands in Canada that we even knew about,
Mhm.
and because the record companies were in control of that marketing stream. Um, and we still know those bands. Those bands that were popular kind of at the turn of the century are still the biggest bands in Canada. And we everyone benefited very much from that kind of marketing that they had. So I mean, I don't think I would have had an opportunity to record if I didn't sign a record deal. It cost a lot more money to record back then than it does now with uh, the digital resources that we have. Although I still make records with real players in real studios, and they still cost me a little bit of money. Um, because that's what I know how to do. And back in '97, yeah, it was incredible to work with such a huge uh, um, record company, but I was too young. Like I just didn't even have social skills to speak to anyone or communicate what I wanted or any of those things. But I had written every single song on that album by myself and had that come out. So it was a pretty big accomplishment, and I was very proud of it. And it led to me having some experiences that I really wanted to have, touring on Lilith Fair. I toured the country with Burton Cummings. I got to make my next record in LA with Jim Scott, who is a dream engineer that I've always wanted to work on. He did Wildflowers and Californication and some of the Dixie Chicks, and
Mhm.
makes the best sounding records I've ever heard. So that was really, really fun. And then it led me to learn how to have a lot of my own skills. My third record I co-recorded and co-produced with a friend of mine from high school. I learned how to design my own posters. I took design classes. I produced my own shows. I just kind of became a musical entrepreneur. And that was very fruitful for me. And that's where I was happiest. And then for me, the changing of the tide where music became unvalued and not a source of income made me change again to become a musical entrepreneur in other ways and facilitate music for other people.
So, Dana, fast forward to today when we talk to young artists that are trying to break through. You have the benefit of a few years of music under your belt, several albums. You have had awards that you've achieved as well. So, an artist today, would you recommend they still sign with a label, or would you say, with all the technology that's available today, with all the promotional avenues you have today, go your own way?
I would always, it's so hard. I don't know. I think every single situation is totally different. Uh, and I think different artists need different help than others. I love doing things my own way, but I'm like a high capacity uh multitasker who loves to do art in all different ways. So for me, this really works, and I love building my fan base and my niche and working with my community. That has really worked for me. Um, it's hard for me to understand the exchange and investment with people I don't know who are far away from me. So that's always been something that I've struggled with, and you do on a bigger level. But but I think distribution help can be good. Marketing help can be good. I'm not sure you're giving up too much anymore because the music isn't really valued financially. So I mean, I just I don't have an answer for that. If I had it figured out, it would be
You would have done it already.
yeah, I would have done it. I just kind of live in my own little world here and make things happen. Yeah.
You you are a Juno nominated artist. Many young artists would say, if I could just get a Juno nomination or a Juno award, it would change my life. It would change my career. So, how do you get to be a Juno nominated artist?
Well, I do think that that has a connection to a major label. I think that that is something that is very tough to achieve as an independent artist. Um, I think the Canadian Folk Music Awards are fantastic and that they really do recognize independent artists. I've been nominated for producer with them, which really meant a lot to me. And also, there's local award shows, the Forest City Music Awards in London. I've received a video award, and I've also received Ontario Recording Artist of the Year in 2023. Those really have helped me um, on different levels. So I don't think you have to think, I need a Juno. I think you can look around you and look at other options for that kind of support. Mhm.
When it comes to being a Juno nominated artist, does it change for you after the nomination? Do you get a lot more recognition? Did you find an influx of opportunities coming to you once you were on that stage?
Well, it kind of went along with the major record deal. All of those things came along. But it is really, really helpful as an independent artist now to have that to say. Like people take you seriously more right away, I think. Yeah.
You are you're still involved with university. You're writing a master's, and the question is, you've got all this stuff going on. Why now? Why decide to write your thesis today?
Um, it just was how it worked out. It was an opportunity that came my way, and my family was living in Nova Scotia, and we were thinking about moving to back to Stratford, and we did. And my husband works out of Toronto, so was commuting from Nova Scotia. It just worked. I don't know why now. Uh, actually, probably I have a better answer to that. It's because it's where my career led. My career led to being a community music facilitator in my hometown. I was doing all of these things kind of that they were teaching already in my hometown. And it's about connecting those community musicians in a bigger way. Yeah.
Let's get into one of the songs that Dayna wrote. This song was released or will be released in July of 2025.
Mhm.
It was co-written in the studio with Derek Downham. It was recorded at Noble Studios in Toronto. Let's take a listen to singer-songwriter Dayna Manning and her song, A Dream Lives in Your Heart.
I can't be everything to everyone, but I can be there for my team. You've gotta know when you're feeling weak, can stay, to live out every night and day. It's impossible to find a way in a world made up of foul play. Real can all fall apart, but a dream lives in your heart, chasing every constellation, every shooting star. A dream lives in your heart. And I don't wanna be the one who runs away from the center of the field, sliding home. Chase down every base you need and build it up from a mound of broken pieces. Real can all fall apart, but a dream lives in your heart, chasing every constellation, every shooting star. Oh, a dream lives in your heart. Oh, a dream lives in your heart. Oh, a dream lives in your heart. And it's on repeat. It doesn't need to sleep, doesn't even need to eat, doesn't need to be complete.
That was A Dream Lives in Your Heart by Dayna Manning. Dayna, tell us what that song is about and what was the inspiration to write it.
I've had that kicking around for a little while I look at the world. I think a dream fuels so many conflicts and disappointments. And I wanted to look at it a different way. I'm actually working on a new musical from a play called The Crayola Girls. It's based on a championship ball team from the 50s here in Stratford, a championship women's ball team. And that is actually the theme song for this play. And that we're working on it, and it'll be out probably next summer. But it kind of became a bigger song than just the play. So I decided to record it on this album. And it's really about the feeling of kind of getting to a point in your life where you realize, oh, my dreams aren't going to work out the way that I wanted them to. And realizing that that's okay, but they never go away. The end of the song, it says, a dream lives in your heart, and it's on repeat. It never sleeps. It doesn't even need to eat. It doesn't need to be complete. It's still just there, and it's fueled by generations. And I just thought about the women's ball team. They had ambitions to join the major league for women in the US, and then it was shut down. And that this is a dream now that they can't even have come to fruition. But you can pass that dream on. And in 2026, they're bringing back professional women's baseball. And it's just such a cool thing that a dream can live on, be passed on, and come to fruition. So that's what this song's about.
Dayna, how do people find out more about you and your music? What's the website, socials, and the streaming platforms?
I'm DaynaManning.com. It's Dayna with a Y, like have a nice day, nah. So I'm the same at Dayna Manning on Instagram and on Facebook. I think it's Dayna Manning Songs, I think my page is.
We have been in conversation with Dayna Manning. Dayna, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
You've got